Welcome back. Looks like fire season upon us again. We already have our first 200-acre fire up here. Some of you may know we do live in fire country. We have to be prepared. We normally see at least 2 weeks of power outages a year, usually for a week in a row. So as far as food consumption, fuel, being able to take a warm shower, being able to heat the house, cool the house, we have to have something. So what we did is we've got our generator set up so where we can just plug right in. So today we're going to go over our generator setup. This is a super easy setup. We have our Westinghouse 7500 watt generator. We have our, I believe this is a 14 gallon capacity fuel tank. This thing has been really handy. It's got a pump to it. It is manually pumped. What's worked really well is just getting the tank up above the generator. Usually I put it up on a staircase in our backyard. Our generator holds about 5 gallons in it. That 5 gallons will run our generator for about 8 hours on a moderate load. Unfortunately, because this is going through a power cord, stuff like our washer, dryer, our heater, and our stove do not work on the generator. But our swamp cooler, which is our cooling system, small plug-in heaters, as well as our refrigerator, toasters, toaster ovens, microwave, lights, charging phones, computers, all that stuff works excellent off the generator. And we just keep the generator running 24 hours a day when the power is out. We do hope to at some point change this over or add to this and add a battery backup system that'll allow us to run the generator a lot less. So let's take a look at this stuff and we'll show you how we get this all set up. So we're gonna go over a little with the tank. So the tank has, good boy. It's a big tank, yeah. Tank has a fuel hose. It's got a pump and a lock, so you have to unlock it every time. And then you'll actually just pump with your hands over and over. Like I said, if you could get the tank up above the generator though, you can actually just hold it and gravity will flow everything right out of there. If you're on a generator system without any kind of major tanks, this thing has been a blessing. Able to load it right in the back of the car, fill it up at the gas station, bring it in. It's small enough and light enough that one person can struggle with it or two people can easily lift it out of the car. Dual valves on the bottom so you can really get it locked up tight, not have to worry about any leaking. But this has been a really nice handy thing to have when we run our generator so often. Last year we made this cord. It's a 220 plug into the plug that goes to our generator. So that plugs in right here in our generator power transfer switch. That locks in tight so nothing around it can get through it. So this is a 25-foot cord. I just bought the cord at the hardware store, bought our 2 plugs at the hardware store and wired it up. I am not an electrician. I don't claim to tell you exactly how to do this right, but I did have an electrician with me when we put this all together and tested it, just to verify everything was going to be safe for our family. So our generator, like I said, is Westinghouse 7500 running watts, 9,000 starting watts. It is a push button start, so that makes it really convenient. Usually the first time of the season, it usually needs to get pull started, which it does have a pull start as well. But after that, everything is good. We usually try to fire this up and run through it before the fire season actually hits us here. just to make sure that when that power outage does come, we're ready. So let's take a moment and I'll show you exactly how we set this up. So we have our 220 plug here and for our dryer out in the garage. So what we do have to unplug this. I would like to add another plug one day so I don't have to mess with the dryer when this comes around, but currently our setup isn't strong enough to run the dryer anyways. So we'll just go ahead and unplug this, loop it over here so it doesn't fall. We'll take our generator cord. So as you can see, I've got this set up to where it goes up. This is I believe a 8.3 or 8.2 wire. So this is a really strong, not very flexible wire. Just plugs right into here. And then we've got a 20-foot cord. We actually run the cord out this window, and that goes to the side of our garage. That's gonna just put the generator a lot further from the house. Our house is here behind the camera, and of course that's the other side of the garage, so not having to hear the generator, because like I said, we do run it 24 hours a day to keep our refrigerator going, heat going. Oftentimes our power outages come in the fall when we do get quite cool nights. Kind of ironic that fire season comes with cold nights, but fire has nothing to do with temperature. It's all about how dry things get. And we're starting early this year because while we did see some consistent rain through this winter, rain has completely stopped and our hills have already turned brown. It is only April right now, middle of April, and the hills are already brown. So it was really disappointing to see all the green and wildflowers die back in basically a week. We've been already seeing temperatures over the 80s. So we're looking like it could be a dry, hot, fire-prone summer. So that's why we're getting ready early. So we'll plug it in here just to give you guys a quick example. But like I said, this cord is normally going to follow our long back wall out to the side of our house, where it's going to really muffle a lot of that sound. But plug's really simple. Goes in, twists and locks, and then we have full-time power. So before plugging the generator in, turning it on and everything, we do come back to our, oh, look at that. That's lovely. We do come back to our main power here and shut that off. That way we're not backfeeding anything to the main power grid. That's actually quite dangerous. So we shut that off first before we ever plug anything in or turn anything on. We also come inside to our interior panel and we'll shut off our main here. If this is off, the line from inside the house to the power line that we were just outside to, nothing is feeding through that. Then we also have the power line outside switched off, so nothing feeds into the main line. And then we'll switch the stuff off, like the stove and things that are going to not be able to be used with the generator. But like I said, our hot water heater, all of our plugs, TV, internet, everything works just fine. So being that we're out here in fire country, we do see a lot of people that just have generators sitting out in their front yard. They've got 5 extension cords with 5 extension cords into that. You know, I know we all need to be able to use electricity when we can, but it's a very dangerous way to use a generator, running cords across your living rooms and into your kitchen to run refrigerators and things like that. During fire season, the last thing we want to do is be wondering if we're going to start a fire. So this is a nice, safe system. Like I said, these are a large grade wire. Like I said, I believe it's a 8.2 or 8.3. It's been about a year now, so I don't remember off the top of my head. And this system just makes it very easy. When our power does go out, 3 to 5 minutes and we are right back on. So we pull the generator out to the side of the house, we run the cord, we flip the switches, plug everything in, and we're back live. It's definitely been a great option for us. I know a lot of people are now going to like Generac systems, things like that. Generac is great. Let me get back here for this, get out of this wind for you guys. The Generac systems are great systems, but you're looking at a very heavy cost to start that process. What are you doing, bud? You working on your truck? So this is, of course, not a cheap way, but of course it is definitely a lot more economical. Of course, the generator is going to be your only major expense that you're going to be having. The cord was, I think, about $75 total to buy the wire. And of course, like I said, we used quite a long wire because we wanted to get it out of the garage and get it to the side where we're not going to have to hear it at night. We do hear it on our front porch at night, but inside the house, we don't hear the generator at all. We don't even notice that it's running anymore, other than the fact that we can't use our stove and our heater, our main central heater. But other than that, it's worked out quite well. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave some comments at the bottom. We'd love to hear from you, or love to hear any advice or tips or tricks you may have. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you in the next one.